Good morning. It's me again. I wanted to talk to you for just a couple minutes about how to clear entities. I know that this is a big topic of concern, and people hire other people to come and clear their house, and they'll hire a shaman or someone like that to come and clear the energies or the entities out of a house or something like that. But I'm here to let you know that you can do it yourself, and it's super simple. So entities are real, whether that's a soul that has passed on but they got confused, there was trauma, they didn't want to leave the earth plane, and they might be hanging around. And basically the only reason an entity would choose to do that is because they're not connected to their own higher self or their own light. So I teach you a healing prayer so that you can help them connect to their own light, help them connect to their own divine nature. And then once they've done that, they're not trying to, be a parasite, to feed on others, to live vicariously through them, or whatever those attachments are. So first of all, let's just cover some of the reasons why this could be an issue. We're all susceptible. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person or you have, there's something wrong with you. This can happen to any of us. So we all have an auric field, an auric bubble around us. And that's kind of like our own personal protection. I know people who are empaths, people who are able to tune into other people's energies, feel like they're really picking up on other people's stuff and it's coming into their space, and that feels pretty icky. So I also have some ways to help you clear that and protect yourself, which I'll cover in another video. But for now, we're talking about entities that may come into your space. So this could, when your auric field is weakened, it makes you more susceptible. What are some of the things that you can do or that can happen that can cause that? Anytime there's emotional trauma, our auric field can either get like a tear in it or can get weakened, and we're susceptible to an entity coming in. Anytime we're using drugs or enough alcohol to be very impaired, you are weakening your energy field and you're making yourself susceptible. You could be making yourself susceptible to an entity that liked to drink when they were alive, and now you're drinking, they come into your space, and they make you want to drink more because they're living vicariously through you. They're influencing you to do things that may not even be what you want to do. Of course, they can be in homes. They can, so fear, trauma, drugs, alcohol are some of the common reasons. That being said, anytime we're just not being mindful, anytime that we're just not, consciously protecting ourselves, we could still pick something up in the grocery store, at the bar, anywhere really. So if someone has a personality shift and you're like, whoa, what got into them, and they're not being themselves, something to suspect is that it could be an entity influence. If you just feel the creepiness when you walk into a certain building or house and like something's here, trust your gut, trust your intuition. And this prayer is, it's fail-safe because it's not going to hurt anything or anybody. When in doubt, heal. Why not? It can't hurt, it might help, so try it. So this is a different approach. It's not like the exorcism, get thee hence from me, casting out demons, that sort of approach. It's really recognizing that these entities are just not connected to their own divine nature, their Christ self, their God self, whatever you choose to view that as. And so this prayer will help them connect up so that they're not looking out to feed on other people, okay? So it's very simple. I will also write it out for you in the notes below so that you can do this yourself, and for yourself, for other people as well. This is not a situation where you need someone's permission to heal them, because you're not healing the person that has the entity influence. You're healing the entity themselves, okay? So we address whoever, whatever this entity is, and we speak to them with love and healing. Okay, so it goes like this. Dear one, you are healed and forgiven. You're healed and forgiven. You're now connected to your own inner Christ. You are filled and surrounded with Christ's love. You are filled and surrounded with Christ's light. You are free from pain, fear, suffering, bondage, and anything that's held you to this earthly vibration. I ask that Jesus, Babaji, the beautiful many take you to your place of perfect expression. Go in peace, go in peace, go in peace, and so it is. Now when I ask Jesus or Babaji, if you have an ascended master that you work with, a guide that you work with, you're certainly able to ask them. Obviously you want it to be a being of very high consciousness that you trust. And you may have to do this prayer more than once. Sometimes there can be more than one entity. Sometimes they can be a little tenacious. So sometimes you need to repeat this prayer. But you will feel the shift. You will feel something let up if you do this. So you don't need to hire a shaman. You don't need to put your power outside of yourself and have somebody else do this for you. You can clear these entities yourself. You can protect yourself. And it's all about being sovereign being and being in your own power. So now after you've cleared them and healed them, I think it's a good idea to consciously close your aura. And we don't want to close our aura completely because you don't want to be closed off from your own higher self. Okay? So we use the words, I close my aura to all but the Christ vibration, or everything that's not of the Christ vibration, or everything that's not for my highest good. So you're being very intentional that you're closing your aura to everything that's not for your highest good, and you've already sent these beings on their way to go find their perfect place of expression. Because guess what? There's something better for them than feeding off of your energy. So I hope this was helpful. Like I said, I'll include that prayer in the notes below, and go out and have a wonderful day. Okay, namaste.